Hello and welcome back. Thanks for watching another of my English composition videos. This video features Ravioli, who is not only on the homepage image this week, he is also in my lab. Perhaps Steve will stop by as well. There he is. I thought he might come by to say hello. They like to try to help with the videos. We'll see how much help they really are. So, we're here to talk about the research findings paper. Of course, you're making your way towards the finish line. Just as a reminder, remember, you want to be sure to use these headings in the paper. I've used the headings to talk to you about how you want to approach the writing in each section, right? And so your reader needs the headings too to kind of understand what to expect in each of these sections, what kind of writing. Right? The introduction is all informational writing, right? It's facts about the subtopic or you explaining, different aspects of the debate, if it is a subtopic that there's debate about, like needle exchanges or something like that. But anyway, it's all informational writing, that things that your reader needs to understand for the subsequent sections to make sense. Right? The data commentary section is where you pull out a significant piece of evidence and say something about it. You can watch the other video or check out last week's materials for more about that. But now it's time to talk about the path forward section. And the thing is, your reader has invested a good amount of time now in reading your paper. They are convinced that you know what you're doing, that you've done important research as a scholar, and they understand the importance and complexity of the subtopic you chose to research. And now they want to know, like, how does all this kind of connect to their life, right? Like, what are the things that that you think should happen in terms of policy changes or other things that could happen in the community, right? And the hope is that you have sources that will give you ideas that you can use here, right? And indeed, if you go into this week's module materials, there's a page where I talk about where you can find ideas in your sources to use in the path forward section, right? Now, it's not published yet, but it will be published by the time you're watching this video, and you will see it in there. But anyhow, so any writing that you do, that commentary that you're doing in the data commentary section, it's got to be founded on ideas from sources. That doesn't mean that you only just regurgitate what a source says. You point to something they said, and then you show your reader what you have to say about it. So let's take a look at what that looks like in this student example. Hopefully, if you're doing the module pages in order, you just read it over and answered the questions at the bottom. And so we'll talk about what the right answers are. Okay, so this is from one of the sample papers in Canvas in the Research Findings Toolbox. Of course, plastic waste is no longer a topic choice because I've had to move to just two topics. But literally everything else about for this student's paper in terms of the prompt was the same as yours. And so you should be doing some of the same kinds of things in your own path forward section. So again, you're supposed to have read this and then you answer the questions. And so the reason that I want you to practice distinguishing when the student is paraphrasing or quoting a source to get an idea across and when they're developing their own comment, because then this is a really important facet of academic writing, even beyond just this paper, right? Where in a lot of different disciplines, you're expected to kind of extract something meaningful from a source and then show what you think about it. Right. So look, like I love the topic sentence here because she lets you know the paragraph is going to be about solutions. What are we going to do about this plastic waste problem? And she talked about these plants in the prior section. So she says, yeah, that sounds promising, but there's these issues. And so then all this here is her talking about issues with getting these plants implemented. And these are from the two different sources that she cites here. One is from this waste energy article, and one is from TOE, right? So this is the student integrating ideas from a source. She's using paraphrase here, right? And so that's why there are no quotation marks, because all the wording is her own. But of course, the facts about this cost and ability piece, or the facts about recycling fees and taxes, all these are from the sources. And so that's what the parenthetical citation does, is it gives the source credit for those facts. Now, of course, this is an MLA example. If you're an APA person, then you would need to add the publication date after the author's last name, right? Same with this, publication date after the title. Okay, and so then what does she do after she tells you about these issues? Here we get some of her opinion about what's the problem with these not getting implemented. And she talks about this idea that people are risk averse in terms of it turning out to be an unpopular or an investment of money that doesn't work out. Right, so this is the student's comment on the source. Okay, and you can see, and remember when you do these exercises, right, it's okay if you didn't get it exactly what I did. Like, again, you're just practicing understanding the distinction, because we need both things in the paper. We really do. It's really important to get your voice in there. The reader genuinely wants to know what you think, other academic readers and me. But again, it can't just be, you telling us what should happen. It has to be founded on ideas from sources, right? And so here we go and I love that the student did this because she's demonstrating her understanding of the complexity of the issue, that these waste energy plants, they're not a panacea. They don't solve everything. They give off their own emissions. And of course, this is another idea that she got from a source, right? And then again, all this down here is her comment about that. Okay. Long-term use and scaling up is the only way we're going to see if they really work. Like that she threw out another idea at the end here about limits on the amount of plastic that's being produced. Okay, this is her own insights here, right? Like, that's a really smart point, right? And so again, you've got your own subtopic that you're writing about, but I would make the case that you have developed your own expertise about that, just like this student did. That was my hope, right, in terms of having you spend so much time on that one topic, write 2 papers about it, because I want you to develop some confidence and expertise in that area so that you can write about it effectively in a scholarly way, as this student did. So I do hope this has been helpful. Again, the path forward section can be 2 or 3 paragraphs. I mean, if you're really good at this, you have a lot to say, you want to keep going after 2 paragraphs, go for it. It's, again, a lot of, you got to use the headings. You got to do the things that you're required to do within the headings. But, as you saw in the assignment directions, the length is really, there's a lot of room for you to focus on your strengths in terms of the sources you have, or the types of writing you feel confident doing. So you're almost to the finish line with this. Keep up your efforts. I want to see you do well. Reach out to me, message me in Canvas if you have questions or problems, and we can, I'll message you back, or we can set up a time to meet. Remember, I do in-person office hours on main campus Monday through Thursday, but I'm available for Zoom meetings too, if that's better for you. That's all I have. Have an excellent rest of your day. Thanks for watching the video.